Hi friend, and welcome to Mom Babes, where every mom is a babe, and that is you. And if you're like, Christina, I do not feel like a babe, I am one temper tantrum away from having my own personal meltdown, then this show is especially for you. Even this episode is especially for you. I make videos for moms who are creatives. And if you object like, I'm not a creative, that's a lie, because raising a live human being is the most creative thing that there is. I would love it if you would subscribe to the channel. Come hang out with me. I release new videos every Thursday on a myriad of topics related to creativity and motherhood. And if you ding the bell, you can get notified each time a new video is released. So this is just a episode on some of the hard days that I've had really recently. The heart and the point of this video is not to be like, man, I want to vent, poor me, look at all the hard things I'm doing. Like, that's not the spirit of this. The point of this is so when you are having a bad day, you have something to watch where you see someone else having a bad day and you don't feel so alone. I want this to be something that you can put in your pocket for, okay, when I am in that really hard spot, there is someone else that has been through this. This is normal. I'm not crazy. I'm gonna be okay. That's what I want to send to you. So I filmed this over several months of just days that really stuck out to me as being extra difficult, and everything from potty training to teething to all kinds of fun things in between. So hopefully it is helpful for you. Hopefully it encourages you even on those really hard days. So today I did not really feel like filming because both the boys were kind of a lot this morning. And you know that feeling? Teething. We all love teething. Worry about everything comes from a lack of energy. I just feel weird, and there's no reason I should feel weird. I just feel weird. I'm doing potty training right now, which, oh my gosh, potty training is the best. Sometimes there's not really a specific reason why the day is hard or why you're in such a cranky mood. You're just worn out. And I know for me, if I'm parenting solo for multiple days, after there's just a lot of stimulus and a lot of crying, and you're just kind of drained mentally, emotionally, physically. And so I was like, I don't have anything to really say. I don't have really anything left to give. I don't really feel like filming. And so I'm gonna go through the steps in which I got over that because clearly I'm filming now. So the first thing I did was they go down for their afternoon nap. So they're both down, and everything in me just wanted to like watch a show or listen to an Audible book or fall asleep, like just do something that required no energy at all. Instead, I went downstairs and I had some coffee. Hallelujah for coffee. And I was like, okay, well, just give yourself 15 minutes. So I talk in my other videos about giving yourself a transition. So put them down, had some coffee, listened to my audiobook for 15 minutes. And then I prayed and was like, God, I don't really feel like doing this. Can you help me? Like, amen. Like, very basic prayer. And then I was like, well, I'm just going to open, because guys, I'm obsessed with the Notes app. I'm obsessed. Like, I love that app. Anyway, so I went on my Notes app and I have a notes page on, okay, episodes that I want to do that I'm really excited about. So then I started going through and I came across one that I was like, oh, that actually doesn't sound that mentally or emotionally draining. Like, that actually sounds fun. Okay. And then by then the coffee kicked in, so I had enough energy to like go upstairs and do my hair and makeup. I don't look like this all the time. I'm going to start, like, I'll do a series to my detriment on like what I actually look like when I'm momming versus the one day a week that I put makeup on and look like this. So, and I feel like half the time I do these videos really haphazardly. So like my makeup's kind of like rushed and just basic, and I'm kind of like blah, 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 because like the kids are literally going to be waking up at any moment. Anyways, if you're having a day where you really, you need to get something done and you're just drained and tired and don't feel like it, drink some coffee, take 15 minutes for yourself. I mean, if you can, I guess. That's the benefit of like sleep training and stuff. But take a second for yourself, breathe, distract the kids in whatever way you know how. And then come back, maybe having like a journal or a notes app or a running list of things that you're passionate about. So for me, it's this show, it's things that I'm excited to talk about. For you, it could be, whatever your interests are. And maybe that would spark some passion. And if not, go take a break, go take a nap, give yourself the day off, and hang out, because mama, you're doing a good job. Here's another one. So teething. We all love teething. So my baby was probably, 9 months at the time, and he was just teething really bad, super inconsolable, which means that he's crying all day and his has a runny nose, and it was miserable. And if you've been through so with my first, I didn't even know when he was teething. So this was also new for me, in that it was just all day crying, inconsolable. Everything I tried that you're supposed to work, it just doesn't work. He was crying all day, and it was jarring me. And I know as a mom, over time you build up tolerance for crying, but I was just at my limit, and I was get me out of this house. I need to get out of this house. So I was I'm gonna be intentional, and I'm gonna, we're gonna go have a picnic for dinner, because that'll be something new and fun, not just for my brain, but for them. Let's get them in a new environment. So I went to the grocery store, got our rotisserie chicken, and I don't know. That's all I remember. I'm sure we got veggies and something else. But so I took our picnic lunch to the park. I brought a blanket. We, laid it out, and everything was going fine. And then my 2-year-old was making a mess, throwing the chicken on the blanket, running off. The baby's still crying. And it's funny, because I was trying to dissolve all this stress with getting out of the house, because I thought, oh, if I can just get out of the house, it'll be better. Because sometimes it is better. If you can just change their environment, it'll improve. But sometimes it's not. It actually was more stressful, because then I'm well, now I have to chase down my 2-year-old who doesn't want to get back in the strollers, get back in the car, put away everything. I'm exhausted now from lifting and carrying and doing all this stuff. And so it's I just guess I felt sometimes when I try to do something good, when I try to, create and move in a positive direction, it backfires. But I don't know. I tell myself that doesn't mean that we shouldn't try these things. I read this thing that was parenting hacks. There are no hacks. This is your life now. Good luck. And I get the sentiment of the day that I had, where sometimes the hacks don't work, but sometimes the hacks do work. So I do think it's worth having your little hacks in your back pocket for the times that they do work. It's definitely worth it. But I hear what they're saying, in that you take things in stride, and if your hack doesn't work, it's not necessarily your fault. It's not that you did the hack wrong. It just, didn't work. So if you are ever feeling man, I tried this hack and it really did not work for me, then I'm here with you, friend. Sometimes I feel the root of all of my difficulty and stress and worry about everything comes from a lack of energy. And so sometimes I will find that although I have time, physical time to do something, I just am so empty. I don't have the energy to do it. And that in itself creates this frustration and self-loathing on why can't I, that's why I always am, for better or worse, trying to find ways to build rest, to build refreshment, to build space into my life, because without that, I'm just drained. And then there's nothing worse than having this wonderful space where, the kids are sleeping or someone's watching them, but you're just done. And there is something in there about, instead of doing something, taking that time for a nap or whatever else. But if you are frustrated because you're just tired all the time, you just don't have energy, and the only thing that you can think to have energy for is to watch a movie or get on your phone or turn off your brain, I understand. I guess I'm about the escapism, as far as yeah, okay, let's just get away for an hour and watch a show. But then there's the part where, okay, now let's get back to real life, and you have to make sure you do the get back to real life part. So, I'm always about building healthier ways of relaxation into our life that don't involve a screen, i.e. taking a leisurely bath or a walk or journaling or whatever that is refreshing to you, yoga, blah, 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 or just going and sitting outside or taking a nap. But I guess I'm not really even trying to give advice here. I'm just thinking and venting about the frustration of motherhood in that you're just tired all the time, and everyone is going to have to at some point work through how they deal with their fatigue or recruit a massive amount of help or hit burnout. So just know that that's part of it, that the fact that you're tired and that it's hard and that, you know, today might be miserable is okay. And there'll be good days and there'll be rough days like this one. And it's okay to have rough days because I have them too. Anyways, you're doing a good job. I just feel weird, and there's no reason I should feel weird. I just feel weird. I feel like icky and strange and like not myself. And there's nothing that, usually I'm very introspective and good at pinpointing it, but there's nothing I can pinpoint it to. And so I'm just frustrated because I'm like, why do I feel so funky? What is going on? Like, maybe I need to process something. Am I being hormonal? Do you ever feel like this where you're like just off and strange and you feel like not yourself and there's no reason why? And then you're like mad and frustrated about it? Well, that's my day today. Another fun, like really hard day story. So, we had a roof leak, which already is so wonderful. So, we got solar, and with the installation of solar came a roof leak. So if you get solar, you too can have a roof leak. I very frustrated with the whole process. Anyways, we have a roof leak, so we have to get it fixed, right? And so we have a roof estimator coming to look and evaluate the damage. So while he's there, like he comes in holding my 1-year-old on the hip, the 3-year-old's kind of running around. I'm doing potty training right now, which, oh my gosh, potty training is the best. That's sarcasm. It's like the worst, guys. So, so we're potty training. This guy's coming in. It's super chaotic. I mean, I don't care that it's chaotic, but you know, I'm holding the baby, trying to explain to him, you know, what's going on. And then, you know, we had certain portions that were leaking and it was half opened. It's just like the project already was crazy. The details would bore you. It's crazy. Just know that. So then I have to take him outside to look at the outside. And then while we're outside, the 3-year-old has an accident, like pees everywhere. And so then I have to get the towel, trying to guide the guy back with the baby, cleaning up the pee, like trying to change my kid. And he went back outside. So then I'm like trying to change him and put on new clothes and get it all cleaned up. And he walks in, the kid's naked. He's probably like, what is wrong with this family? But, and not that I like care what he thinks, because I'll never see him again. I don't. But it was just like, really, like, you had to pee like while I was like out of the room doing this, and like in the middle of, do you ever feel like your kids do that? Like they sense when you're the most busy, and then that's when they, or the most distracted, or when other people are there, and then that's when they want to act out, and that's when they want to like, you know, do things to get attention. And it's just the best. So if you feel like that, if you're like up here with your kid, yeah, I mean, just know that you're not alone. So I would actually at some point be able to get to the place where I could film these moments as they're happening, so it's more raw and more real instead of talking about them afterwards. But the practicality of that is I'm usually with the kids, which is why I'm so overwhelmed, and setting up a camera and them not destroying everything in the moment is actually really impossible and very difficult. Even that day when I'm drained, it's hard to even like get out the camera to do the thing. Maybe at some point I'll get there. Sometimes there's not really a specific reason why the day is hard or why you're in such a cranky mood. You're just worn out. And I know for me, if I'm parenting solo for multiple days, fire wife, it just begins to wear on you. Not that anything in particular is hard. It's the culmination of everything and the lack of breaks that make it really difficult. And so sometimes I'll be sitting there at the end of the day just totally zoned. And I will go to bed at like 7 when the kids go to bed because I'm just so burnt out by the day. And I feel more than specific things that happen, it's accumulation of those types of days that just wear on you over time. And so what I've kind of done is build in this as a creative outlet, and I like to write as well and take photos and organize pictures and things like that. And so as I can build in space to do those things, it refreshes the entire schedule. And so hopefully that's helpful. If you're the mom that's like, dude, like nothing is like specifically awful, you know, because there are really like hard things that honestly I can't even speak to. I don't even know how you do it if you're like have these really like, you know, your kid breaks your leg. That's got to be so stressful, or, you know, is in the hospital for any reason, or, you know, gets like a diagnosis. Like those are things that I'm not even going to pretend to understand, that I can even comprehend how you handle that. Like you are amazing for taking on that in addition to the everyday moms. But if you're just like, you know, I'm just an everyday mom, like I haven't gone through these crazy things, but this is still really awful sometimes. It's still really hard. And the point of all this is to say, it's okay that it's hard. I'm here with you. We're going to make it to the other side. And be encouraged that you are not the only one that is like dying out here. Yes, I know it was a little dramatic at times, and even me watching myself back on those days, I have this thing to like kind of judge myself and say, why was I freaking out so much? What was the big deal? That wasn't so bad. But in those moments, it feels like everything. It feels like the weight of the world is on your shoulders, because I can see through my own little mini video journey here that when I am in that really hard, dark spot that is just trying to take over me, I can remember, oh, there will be another time when I will look at that and be like, why was I so freaked out? But in the moment, that's not really helpful. Mostly, I just want to send you a big hug. I'm sorry you're having a rough day. Know that you're not the only one that has rough days. And you can always look back on this and be like, Christina's so silly, so dramatic. And maybe it'll bring a smile to your face. Anyways, I send all my love. If no one has told you yet today, you are doing a good job. Thanks for hanging out with me this week, and I will catch you next time on Mom Babes.